Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook. Get a sign-up bonus of 200% up to $25,000 when joining today. Sign up now. Terms and conditions apply.
Vote for IFL in this year's Sports Podcast Awards. Go to www.sportspodcastgroup.com and vote for us in Best Combat Sports Podcast and the Diverse Voices Awards categories. IFL Pod, available across all major streaming platforms now.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, delighted as always to be joined by Mr. Spencer FEARON himself. Spencer, how's things this wonderful Wednesday morning?
Everything's good, my end. I pray everything's good your end. And yeah, mate, I pray that you've had a good morning, mate.
Yeah, it's my daughter's birthday today, so I spent the morning with her, and that's me just in the gym at 10:30 in the morning. So yeah, I've had a blessed morning. Thank you for asking. Likewise to you.
Okay, good.
Obviously, you're eating something there. What's that, my man?
Oh, sorry, this is cornmeal porridge, right? So, any of my West Indian people, we know what's going on. Like, cornmeal porridge is the one. So this is what I'm having in the morning. Big up ballers as well. Yeah, because a lot of people say, "Oh, Spencer, you're always eating," which is true. If you go on the fight, it's right. I'm always eating, always eating. You just got me in the house, and I've got to go out and do some work in a minute. But yeah, so it's cornmeal porridge time, man.
Good stuff. You know, we love porridge up in Scotland. Porridge is our national breakfast up here, so we love porridge in Scotland as well. I think we invented porridge, to be honest. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did. I'm sure we found it somewhere along the line. I'll Google it and I'll send you. Anyway, Spencer, the reason I wanted to talk to you, obviously, I always love your opinion on anything that's happening in the boxing world. And let's just jump straight into the meaty bit of it, the actual beef. Well, I don't know if you want to call it beef. It seems like this ongoing saga or this ongoing feud with Lennox Lewis, who you know very well, and Anthony Joshua, who you know very well. What's going on here? Obviously, Lennox Lewis has criticised his fight with Ngannou. Saying something along the lines that does nothing for Anthony Joshua and does it warrant him getting a crack at the Undisputed if he beats Ngannou? I just want to get your initial thoughts.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but what I'm saying is, like, at what point was it correct for Lennox Lewis to criticize that fight? Because Lennox Lewis wasn't as vocal for the Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight. So if Lennox Lewis said something for the Tyson Fury Ngannou fight, then people could have said, well, he's justified in saying what he's saying because he's got a track record of criticizing these crossover kind of fights and all the rest of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be, as Lennox Lewis trying to say, okay, then I genuinely want the best for Anthony Joshua, right? And you taking this fight right now of a man that's only had one professional fight, even though he's ranked in the top 10, that does nothing for you because you've beaten Otto Walling by his own admission on a tweet. You've beaten Otto Walling and now you're fighting Francis Ngannou. So you get what I'm trying to say? So anything Lennox Lewis says deeming to Anthony Joshua don't even seem like you're hating anyway. Unless he comes out and says, right, you're the best thing since sliced bread, then it'd be flipping on his head. So I don't think the concept, these two men getting involved or going back and forth, I know Anthony Joshua hasn't said anything in this case, but I know Eddie Hearn has. But like I said earlier, a lot of people could think that Eddie Hearn is being hypocritical, and this is me, right? Mm-hmm. Being hypocritical because he's very, very critical of the Ngannou Fury fight. But to Eddie Hearn's defense, we didn't know that Francis Ngannou was going to perform in the way that he did against Tyson Fury. So, because he did, and I was asked a question when I was out there by many people, even by guys from IFL. Mm-hmm. Now, I remember telling Radio Raheem this, that Francis Ngannou now is a top 10 heavyweight. To put in a performance like that against Tyson Fury, he's now a top 10 heavyweight. And he is a top 10 heavyweight. And the fight with Anthony Joshua, even like I've said my piece story. I said I think this fight's going to be a mismatch, and then Anthony Joshua will look fantastic against him. But I shouldn't say that because when I do say things like that, and Joshua doesn't perform in the way that he's meant to perform, and then people start saying all kinds of things. Just like when I said Anthony Joshua should retire if his fight with Franklin was to go over 6 rounds. It didn't. It went 12 rounds. Now, people who are, oh, Spencer's hating on Anthony Joshua. He said that he should retire and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying it as a form of motivation to Anthony Joshua, really and truly, that this man's not meant to live with you. You're meant to brush this man. Because the Anthony Joshua that fought Otto Walling, I don't believe that Franklin would have gone 6 rounds with him. Do you get what I'm saying now?
Yep.
Right. But anything that you say right now, which could be a smidgen where people want to say it's critical, then you're hating. Oh, you're a hater. Oh, no, I'm giving an opinion. I'm giving an educated opinion as well, right? Especially from historical standpoints, that you don't have to agree with me. You can disagree, that's fine. You can disagree with me, but I know what my points were valid. And in time, my points were even more valid, because I'm telling you again, the Anthony Joshua that boxed under Ben Davison, who fought Otto Walling, would have totally obliterated, in my mind, Franklin. Right. But when it comes to the beef between Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis, I believe if they both were to sit down and speak with each other, I don't think there would be beef. Right? I really don't. But through design of the system of how this sport is that they don't want them to sit down and speak to one another. Now, people are turning to me and say, oh, but Spencer, for the culture, it'd be great for these guys to sit down and talk. And I'm saying I'm way past that. You know what I mean? I regard Anthony Joshua a friend, right? I regard Lennox Lewis a friend, right? In fact, I regard both men as brothers. I'm going to be real. So that's their business. Because I know at the end of the day, their man's bread, as we say in Jamaica, is buttered on 6 sides. They don't need to worry about nothing. They don't need to worry about no bills. You know what I mean? They ain't cost of living crisis. They don't need to worry about none of those kind of things. So, you know what I mean? Good luck to them, man.
Definitely. Spencer, is there, like you see, I say beef, I see a lot of people on Twitter calling it a beef, but is it really a beef between Joshua and Lennox Lewis? Because I've seen Lennox Lewis, he was tweeting out, and he's got receipts, as he called it, of tweets where he was praising Anthony Joshua in the past as well. So it seems like he criticises him at a certain fight, which is, as a boxing analyst as he is now, that he's entitled to do it, but he does also give AJ credit on the other hand as well. So is there a real beef there? Can we call it a beef, or is it just sort of like you call it, an educated opinion on what AJ is doing in his career?
Well, I think on certain things, it could also be the people who are behind Anthony Joshua, who are around him, that, you know, when whispers, nah, he's hating, nah, he's you got what I'm trying to say to you? You know what I mean? I'm fortunate of the relationships that if I suspect anything, then I will address it to the person themselves. And it's not paranoia. It's just like, right, if I feel something, I'm going to address it right now. You know what I mean? If I could see something, and I could see it in our mother tongue, or in Jamaica, we call it bad mind. If I could feel someone's bad minding me being envious or not wishing me the best intentions, right? In our culture, we call it raw. My man's bad mind, you know, right? Meaning that you're bad minded. So if I have a smidgen of that, I'm going to address it. That's me. And someone could turn around and say, Spencer, what are you talking about? I'm saying, bro, I think you're being bad mind. End of story. Because you know what? At least I've got it off my chest, and it's not playing in my head for me to start, because, you know what I mean? When you worry about something, you're actually praying to the devil. I could get onto that in a deeper way, because the devil is not an actual living human being. The devil is an energy, yeah, that consumes the 30 trillion cells that the average human being has in his body, right? So you can either be on the side of the shaitan, the devil, or you could be on the side of godliness and righteousness. So I want to be on the side of righteousness. And the only way I could do that is by eradicating any evil thoughts, by addressing the matter at hand.
And by saying that, do you want Joshua to address Lennox Lewis? Or you
No.
Eddie Hearn jumping in?
No. Like I said, Anthony Joshua's bread is buttered on 6 sides, right? So I don't want him to, you know what I mean? Before I was all about, nah, it's not good for our cultural identity as being men of color, that we're seeing like two men of color going at each other for the entertainment of the world. No, I'm not. No. Now I don't care. Good luck to them. Wish them all the best. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be real. What I do know is this. Recently, I think it was last week, Lennox Lewis buried his mother. I understand what that is like, going through sudden bereavement and how things could be dawning. So when you're going to say things, like, it's anything you say is going to be misconstrued, but sometimes I always look at from where is it actually coming from? What is spouting it? And do I think that Lennox Lewis's tweet was actually really critical of Anthony Joshua? No, because on certain things he's being absolutely right. Do these two fights prepare Anthony Joshua to become undisputed champion of the world? No, it doesn't. But then Lennox Lewis also got to take into consideration that this is called prize fighting, and prize fighting for a purpose, because the prize is actually financial gains. And big up to Turkey Al-Sheikh for bringing the mass of the financial gains, where I'm seeing people who I know who are being fantastically rewarded from it, right? Because I'm a very vicarious person, right? To be real. Like, Andrew, you could win £1 million tomorrow, and as far as I'm concerned, because I know you, that £1 million is mine, right? And what I'm trying to say to you is that I'm not wishing you anything wrong or any bad mind towards it. So therefore, I am consumed in the goodness of the energy. So therefore, that energy will be resounding and kind of come on myself as well. That's how I see things.
Yes, and I think that way as well. Well, Spencer, but you mentioned there that does that the Otto Wallen or Ngannou fight prepare Joshua for the undisputed? But Lennox Lewis also said that Joshua beating Wallen and then Ngannou, which he should, does that warrant him the fight? Because he thinks that the Zhang Parker fight probably warrants the winner of that fight, one of them two, to face the winner of undisputed. That fight has more to it than the Joshua Ngannou fight, especially the fights that they've been.
Do you know what? On paper, it does.
I think that's what he was saying, yeah.
Right. I'm going to be real with you. He's absolutely right with that one. On paper, Lennox Lewis is absolutely 1,000,000% correct. Right? But they're not superstars. Zhang is not a superstar. Right? Joseph Parker, who I love dearly, I think is a fantastic fighter, and I actually think Joseph Parker's a better fighter now than when he was world champion. They're not superstars. Right? Anthony Joshua is. And Saudi Arabia want as much eyeballs as possible on their country, right? Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing a wicked job right now. No one can't turn around and say he's doing a fantastic. The eyeballs are out. So obviously you want to have the fights that's going to bring that. Would Zhang versus the winner of Tyson Fury, USYK, and I think Tyson was going to win that fight, would that bring anything majorly to the table? Would that be a difficult one anyway? Just say Joseph Parker comes out victorious against Zhang, right? Which is a brilliant fight. He comes out victorious. Now he's going to fight Tyson Fury. He's in camp with Tyson Fury, right? So already we're going to think, nah, there's got to be, straight away we're going to think, nah, there's got to be something iffy in there. Go down in the 8th. No, we're going to think something, right? Even though that's not happening, but that's what we're going to think. So, no, I don't, that is more worrying. Yes, for the hardcore boxing fans. Yeah, it is way more worrying. But what is the bigger fight? If Tyson Fury comes out victorious, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua comes out victorious, you fight Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is the biggest fight in the world. Let's not be stupid about it.
Yes.
Right? Let's not be stupid about it. And also, and I'm going to defend Lennox Lewis because Lady Shan's my friend, but she went on about some big rant that Lennox Lewis is a hater. And when Lennox Lewis lost to Oliver McCall, it took him 2 years for him to go and fight back Oliver McCall because he went out to go learn his trade. No, what happened was there wasn't a clause in the contract for a rematch for Lennox Lewis. When he got knocked out and lost he got stopped, he didn't get knocked out, he got stopped by Oliver McCall. There wasn't a rematch clause in the contract. And Oliver McCall done everything within his power not to fight a rematch with Lennox Lewis because Oliver McCall was with Don King and Lennox Lewis was with Frank Maloney and was doing something with Top Rank as well. And there were two, sorry, not Top Rank, the Duvas. So there were two rival parties in the main event. So there were two rival parties, and that's why that didn't happen. But for those who don't know history, I got to tell people, because Lennox Lewis did actually wanted his rematch, and he had to wait, and he had to go to court, and he had to do all kind of nonsense for him to get another shot at Oliver McCall. At that time, subsequently, Oliver McCall. Yeah, that's what happened. Subsequently, Oliver McCall lost to Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno lost to Mike Tyson. Then Mike Tyson, instead of not fighting Lennox Lewis, they catered the WBC crown. Right.
There we go.
I just like to educate talk.
Oh,
So
listen.
who's my girl, Sugar Shane's girlfriend now. So I should call her Sugar Shane, Lady Shan, whatever. I can't, but I'm just saying, I just want people to just know that part there. That is not the case.
Definitely. Well, that puts me on to what you touched on it slightly there. Now, in an ideal world, Fury wins, Joshua wins. We get that the start of Riyadh season in October, hopefully this year, obviously. But that's what we all want to see as boxing fans, because there's not really an appetite for a Joshua versus Usyk trilogy. I don't think there's an appetite. Parker and Fury are in camp together. That doesn't make much sense. It doesn't really excite the fans. So in an ideal world, for boxing fans like me and you, Spencer, do we need Fury to win and we need Joshua to win so we can finally get that fight that you called the biggest fight in the world? We need this to happen for boxing, don't we?
We do. Let's be real. We do. And not only that, it's so great now that we have an amalgamation of Matchroom and Queensberry, right? So that would be a relatively easy fight to make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I got to big up Turkey Al Sheikh, because Turkey Al Sheikh is coming to the game like the headmaster, right? He's coming to school like the headmaster, and he's like, you sit down, let's do this thing. That's it. You know what I mean? He had a big ruler back in the day. I think you're old enough to remember when you used to get beaten with a ruler, because I know that was going on regular up in Scotland before they changed the legislation.
Still going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, listen, obviously, but talk to you about that. You said Tyson Fury is going to beat Alexander Usyk, and I think we touched on this a little bit. Boxing IQ, they probably have the same boxing IQ, but like I said, Tyson's got that 6'9". We saw what he done to Wilder when he used that extra 30, 40 pounds he had, and he took Wilder's legs away from him by leaning on him. Do you think that sort of like the tactics for Tyson Fury going in this one is to use the size that he's got over Usyk? And we know, and you know very well yourself, there's a subject that we've talked about, the Dubois fight, that he doesn't quite like it to the body Usyk. So for you, do you look at that fight and think, Tyson, use your size to your advantage and touch him to the body? Is it as simple as that for Tyson Fury?
No, it's not as simple as that, because Tyson Fury is not renowned as a body puncher. So, you know what I mean? He's not saying that he doesn't got body shots in his vocabulary of throwing, how he throws his fists, and in his attacking style, but Tyson Fury is not noted as a body puncher. And usually big guys aren't. Big tall guys usually aren't known as body punchers. But in saying that, Tommy Hearns, and now he's with the lineage of the Kronk in Sugar Hill, Tommy Hearns used to do that. He's got 1, 2, and he goes left hook to the body, quite hard. But Tyson Fury is noted as being a body puncher, but he does know there's flaws downstairs on him. So there are flaws with him on the body shots. But there's also susceptibility to Tyson Fury getting caught on the blind side and going over. But if you think on the guys that had him over recently, he's like Francis Ngannou is meant to be the hardest punching man on the planet right now, right? By this UFC machine. And Deontay Wilder, as we know, when he's on it, Deontay Wilder hits you, it's good night, baby. So I think it's going to be a very, very tactical fight, and it depends if Tyson Fury is completely on it, and if he's completely on it, then I see him being victorious. But he has to be absolutely 100% completely on it. Not for the fact that he's too big. It's because Tyson Fury he's relatable education fighter. We can relate to the education stuff there. Well, I can, right? I can relate to that. I can relate to the things that Usyk does, but Usyk does, to me, more genius things. I think we give credit to Tyson Fury because he's so big and his body plyometrics isn't meant to do the things that he does, but he manages to do it. And that's why it's a good fight. But I still see Tyson Fury coming out victorious.
And I'm looking forward to what we're just probably 3 weeks. 3 weeks on Saturday, I think, is away from seeing this undisputed heavyweight fight. And I'm
Saturday, you cannot miss. You can't miss it. Can't miss it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think the whole thing of the whole Saudi thing's been excellent. Big up Spencer Brown. Big up Gold Star Promotions. Big up Francis Warren. Big up Frank Warren. Big up George Warren. Big up everyone that's made all these kind of things happen. Because I don't know when we were about to go and see the materialization of something. We're going to see an actual undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And now we have the opportunity to actually see it. It's been 25 years since the last time. You know what I mean?
I can't wait.
Right, so.
It's going to be good. And I'm going to touch on, you also said that Turki Al-Sheikh has come in like a headmaster or a big ruler and telling everybody sit down and get the fight made. So this brings me on nicely to a fight that I want to see. I know the heavyweights are the heavyweights and everyone tunes in to see the heavyweights, but a fight that I think is probably probably not far behind the Tyson Fury Joshua fight is Tank Davis and Devin Haney. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh has said he wants to see that in Saudi in 2024. Spence, talk to me.
Listen, did you see the interview that he did with Adi? Let me just pick up Adi as well as my guy.
Yeah, Adi Oladipo, yep.
Right? Turki Al-Sheikh. Spencer Brown was telling to me ages ago, like, you say to me, like, he really knows boxing. Yeah? And I'm going to be real. I'm saying you could be a fan, like, yeah, shut up. Yeah. Turki Al-Sheikh. Yeah, you're running things, but my name. No, he does know boxing. Mm-hmm. And you know why I know that he knows boxing? When they say to him, who are your favorite fighters? Right? And Turki Al-Sheikh turns around and he says, Roberto Duran.
That's my favorite fighter.
Right, Roberto Duran is his favorite fighter. And he also said, he said Roberto Duran and Larry Holmes. When somebody says that to you, they know boxing. Right? Because Larry Holmes actually goes underneath the radar. I don't want to bore people about the histrionics of Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was an absolutely fantastic boxer, right? And he'd wear you down. And also I think in the 80s when cocaine hit America hard, he was disciplined enough to stay away from all of that and stay focused and stay in the gym, right? An absolutely fantastic fighter. One of the most educated jabs that I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. Like his jab, I would say Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, and Lennox Lewis. Those three guys, I'm sorry, let me not forget Sonny Liston as well, former heavyweight champion of the world as well. Like those guys, trust me, yeah. But Larry Holmes, actually incredible fighter. And Roberto Duran, his tyrannical reign as a lightweight, people do not go back to see him. You're saying your favorite fighter, just go and watch Roberto Duran. And the nice thing is, like, they're out in Saudi quite regularly. So when Turki Al-Sheikh saying that they're his favorite fighters, then I'm telling you now, the guy knows boxing.
Talk to me about Tank and Devin Haney then. I think that fight, right, for me is up there, and that's what gets my juices flowing. I just think you've got people might think that Tank Davis is this knockout artist, but he's one of them ones you talk about that downloads that information because he only throws maybe 10 punches around, I think, on average, because he's down there, he's waiting for his perfect shot, and he's just waiting for that perfect shot, and he lands it, 9 times out of 10? I think he's got an 80+ knockout ratio.
Tank Davis is a phenomenon. And more so, people were talking, well, Tank isn't that disciplined. Tank isn't that disciplined. But he must be doing something right because the guy's an unbeaten fighter, right? And the guy bangs out guys profusely, right? It's horrible how he looks out guys, right? And like, it's mad because a lot of people say he don't hit that hard, but he must be doing something right because, right? He must be doing something right. Tank, he's a really good fighter. I'd love to see him and Devin Haney, especially to the fact that they both recently converted to Islam. To have that fight in Saudi Arabia, I think there's a bigger bearing to that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too deep and scare people right now, right? Yeah. I don't want to fun. No, I'm joking, right? But I'm saying to you, like, there is, and I think the money that would be purported to put that together, it will be a no-brainer for it not to happen. You know what I mean? I think Devin Haney said something about, oh, you've got 72 Ferraris or something, and then we could start negotiations, something like that. I see that. I really do believe that can happen, but the only way that it is going to happen, because Turkey Al-Sheikh's dealing with everyone, Turkey Al-Sheikh's going to sit down with Al Heyman, right? And you know, Al Heyman's he's a very, very influential, powerful man, where he could make things not happen. But because everybody's seen everything happen out in Saudi now, I think, like, do not be surprised. Al Heyman's not going to be sitting down with Turkey Al-Sheikh in the near future to make that fight happen.
Yeah, it's exciting times, especially 2023 was a good year. We spoke about that, Spence, but I think if 2024, with what's planned ahead and what fights we could have,
it's the best so far. It's been the best year that we've had in ages.
Definitely, I totally agree. But listen, we've got to talk about brilliant fights here on our shores as well. And being in London, being down there, Spence, how excited are you for Dan Azeez and Joshua BUATSI? I think it's next week, is it? A week Saturday. Come on, talk about this. Is this? No, go on. You go. I'll let you have the floor.
This fight here, is a fight that's gone underneath the radar, but it's for the bragging rights of the barbershops, right? Similarly to Craig Richards and Joshua BUATSI, but that kind of went underneath the radar as well. Maybe because it was on DAZN, right? Or maybe it's like, I'm gonna be real. Like, certain people have to understand, when you're dealing with a street culture, you gotta get the guys from that street culture who are really big, like the rappers, like, you know what I mean, like the footballers who come from that demographic. You need to get them all behind that fight. I think it's a fantastic fight, simply because I believe that Joshua BUATSI has an identity crisis. He wants to be Evander Holyfield one day, and then he wants to be Andre Ward another day, right? But one thing that I have to rate with Dan Azeez actually knows who he is. He styles himself on Marvin Hagler. You know what I mean? He watches Marvin Hagler. Like, I'm gonna have to go do things the hard way. And Dan Azeez is actually a throwback fighter to the 80s. Everything about him. I could see Dan Azeez fighting at the London Arena way before your time. The London Arena being promoted by Frank Warren back in the day. You know what I mean? In his velvet shorts, how he fights. He's that guy. It's a great fight. And I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm doing some bits for Boxer, which I'm kind of chuffed to be doing. I think that is going to be a wonderful, wonderful fight.
Spence, you talked about the bragging rights in the barbershop. Now, this is for the British and Commonwealth title, but for two guys that are from the same city, from that culture that you keep talking about and all that, is bragging rights more than this British title? Does the bragging rights mean more than the British title and the Commonwealth title in this fight?
No, because the British title historically is a fantastic crown to hold, and historically great men who've held that title. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? None greater than John Conte, who goes underneath the radar. People seem to forget about it. He was a fabulous, fabulous fighter. But who was trained by the late great George Francis. But I would say that the British title was like the icing on the cake, because we got to be realistic. What the British title means to individuals. It's a fantastic, aesthetically, it's a beautiful belt to look at, right? And so we'd have to be realistic and say, like, the two men have to go and give their best, but the onus is on Joshua BUATSI, right? To really perform to the level. He had a fantastic barn burner of a fight with Craig Richards, right? You know what? Out of all of this, the person I really feel sorry for is Craig Richards, because people have seemingly forgotten about him. Because the talk is like, the winner of this fight here could potentially face Anthony Yarde, right? That's the talk, right? You must have heard it. You know what I mean? Right. So, I'm going to be real. The person I really feel sorry for is Craig Richards. I hope that he gets a big fight soon as well.
Yeah, I know he's changed training teams now, Craig Richards, but yeah, that Azeez BUATSI is what I'm looking forward to. So, listen, Spence, we've got what, 9 minutes left on the Zoom call, but I know you've got to do some proper work. You've got to do some real work, not just talk with me.
Just work. But yeah, just want to say, just big up to you, Andrew, man. You're doing good stuff, man. You know what I mean? You're keeping the fire burning. So I like that.
I'm trying, mate. I'm trying. I've just got one of the young guys at a train right now, just walked in the gym right now. So we're going to do some pads. And he's got the Scottish Championships coming up. So we're going to do a little pad session, get him ready, get him sharp. And yeah. Yeah, he's just getting himself ready just now. He's fighting the Scottish Championship.
What weight is he?
64. So light welter, super lightweight now. 21.
21. Well, what's his name?
Lewis Connolly.
Lewis Connolly. I wish you all the best. But wait, Connolly's an Irish name. What's going on there?
Yeah, Scots-Irish. Scots-Irish.
Nah, bro.
We're all the same. We're all Celtic people, brother. We're all Celtic.
Celtic, but Connolly, you know what I mean? No, like, it is actually, yeah, it is, because Billy Connolly as well. But yeah, I know a lot of Connolly are Irish, so yeah. Anyway, I wish him all the best. Do your best, mate.
You hear that, Lou? Just said thank you there, Spence.
All right, mate.
Right, Spence, I'll speak to you soon, brother, no doubt. Listen, I'll speak to you soon, brother. Thank you, mate.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook. Get a sign-up bonus of 200% up to $25,000 when joining today. Sign up now. Terms and conditions apply.
Vote for IFL in this year's Sports Podcast Awards. Go to www.sportspodcastgroup.com and vote for us in Best Combat Sports Podcast and the Diverse Voices Awards categories. IFL Pod, available across all major streaming platforms now.